Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
Okay, so this is
every time it goes too fast to the end.
This is my old friend Frank Dars, I've known for 30 plus years. We were in the
30 years?
Together.
That's almost $1 million.
It is. Okay. So now this is the new Audio Technica AT LP5 direct drive turntable, and the cost of this is
$449 retail.
$4,449. $449.
And that's with the cartridge and with the built-in phono preamp that is selectable moving magnet moving coil.
And what cartridge is that?
It's purpose-built for this turntable. I couldn't tell you the model number off the top of my head, but it's essentially a higher quality moving magnet.
Okay, $449.
Also has a USB out if you want to rip it on.
And what's the platter material?
Aluminum.
Okay, so in the Needle Doctor room we have a Clearaudio Innovation compact, and there's the Hana. What is it?
SL.
Hana SL.
Shibata cut.
The Shibata stylus is $700.
$750.
$750. They raised it $50 in 2 seconds, so it's just $700.
Right, they're very popular.
And and this is everybody's raving about this, and I've got one to install. I haven't done it yet. And this is the Charisma moving magnet that we talked about. That's on the website now. And then we have
Musical Surroundings Supernova 3 phono stage. That's the charging power supply atop that will charge the batteries.
And the phone stage is the bottom one?
That's right.
Okay, and what does that sell for?
$5,000.
$5K. Okay, maybe. So this is the TechDAS 3. This is their least expensive turntable. I think it's $27,000. Approximately around $30,000. And it's got vacuum hold down, right?
Yes.
So it's got all the features that the big ones have.
Right.
Yeah, suction, but it's much less expensive, and it puts it within reach of a lot more people, and yet it's got very similar features. And we have on here 2 of Bob Graham's arms. This is the Elite, and that is the Phantom.
The new Phantom 3.
The new Phantom 3. And we're going to hear the Phantom 3 through a Ortophone cadenza mono. And okay, let's do it to it. Well, we are so happy to see that basis continues, and this is the basis signature. So this arm it's called
SA9 Super Arm.
The SA9 Super Arm. So this is the last arm that he...
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid unipivot design. It allows you to adjust VTA a whole lot easier and doesn't have the floppiness that some do. This is normally a silicone damped arm,
right.
but we don't have the silicone in there right now. Right. The well is underneath. And it's mostly filled with silicone, and so it damps the top part of the arm very effectively.
So is that the second support?
Yes.
I see. And you can adjust your azimuth with that?
Yeah. You remember David Fletcher?
Sure.
When he saw this tone arm, he told AJ, he said, AJ, you've come up with the best mix of qualities of both the fixed race bearing and the unipivot. So, yeah, it's cool. This arm is phenomenal in terms of performance. Just been blown away by how much better it is in the factory.
Yeah, Roy Halley has one of these. He knows what he's doing.
I think so.
So we're hearing, this is the Scout Prime with an Ortophone 2M. And that's the Rogue
RP5.
RP5. So it's just a preamp for the phono section. Correct. Moving magnet. Moving coil.
Well, the RP5 actually has 4 different gain settings: 40, 45, 55, and 60. Right now, I believe it's 45.
Really? That's surprising. 2M. That's 2M black.
2M black.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So 45 is fine. Duh. That's last day of the show. Right.
The power is Rogue Audio M180, and speakers are Revell. These are actually prototype speakers. They're not going to be shipping for 4 or 5 months still. It's a cabinet of material 8 with different drivers and processors.
Revell. These are Kevin Bates. Yes, Revell. So So it's a harmony, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen them with that. That's cool. So what do you think this whole thing sells for?
Okay. The turntable was $2,200. The cartridge was $750.
Right, so that's $3K.
$3,500 for the preamp. $6,000 for the monoblocks. These are estimated to come in between $9,000 and $10,000. Cabling is more than fried too, so we probably have about
$2 million.
$8,000 worth of cabling behind it.
Okay, so we're talking about, let's forget about the cable for a second, it's like 20,000 or 20K. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. And you're getting pretty much a full range system. And lots of power. 1 second.
It has turned off and
Okay, so we're in the Technics room, and this is the SL-1200GR that we saw at CES in January, and the price had not been announced, and they were hoping to get the price in for around $2,000. Unfortunately, they were not able to get it done for $2,000, and instead they've announced it at the show it's going to cost $1,600. So that's just terrible. $1,699. I'm sorry. Just add $100. Inflation in the last 2 seconds. We're at $1,699, but still. And so what are we talked about the differences at CES.
Still a coreless direct drive motor, probably the most important thing, and we wanted to open up the SL-1200 experience to a wider audience.
Right.
And this certainly has done that, and control-wise, it gives you all of that people love to have, the vertical tracking angle on the fly, the ability to control range of pitch, ability to stop and start very easily and quickly, the target light, everything that people appreciate about the SL-1200 series has been brought to it and at a much more reasonable price.
What's interesting is that people don't realize that the tape recorders that were used to make all of these great, wonderful old records had a speed accuracy of plus or minus 2%. And so when the reissues come out, even on vinyl, where they've corrected these problems, the people say, "Oh, they got the speed wrong. The originals are right." Well, no, actually, they probably got the speed right finally. So, well, this is great.
We have some flexibility to do that very easily.
Yeah.
Bring it
And
back to
this is a head shell with the built-in.
This happens to be the plug-and-play Ortofon 2M Black, and the reason we like to show it is because it gives us flexibility. We have some 50s records that are mono, and we have some 78s. The turntable plays 78s, so we like to be able to, within 5 seconds, I can have a proper...
Plus the overhang is set already, and so a customer who's not really adept at setting up a cartridge can just plug it in.
And they don't have to change VTA, they don't have to... there's a slight suggestion to change the tracking weight to 1.8 as opposed to 1.5, but it works very well.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm sorry that disappointing news is that you couldn't bring it in at $2,000, but that's what happens in this world. Okay, thank you.
We're using the Magnate table, which is a brand new model. It's using the new air-bearing tone arm with the plotter, which is also air-bearing. But we have something unique in this particular model, which you'll see when I take the record, more when you put the record back on. So I'll remove the record, you'll see that the platter is all perforated. So we've got a vacuum hold down here, which is done very easily. Put the record on, we fill that hole here with this clamp. Just give it a little press and you'll see how it just sucks itself to the platter itself.
So the compressor stays on the whole time.
It's on all the time. It's quite
quiet.
large. It's very quiet. It's in the same room. So the compressor's taking care of the air from the arm, air from the platter, and also the vacuum. It's a substantial size compared to the previous model.
Yes.
And also a brand new plinth, all made now by Johnny Bergmann himself in his own facility.
Wow. What is this made out of?
It's stainless steel with adjustable feet as well as it is on the Sindre. Of course, detachable. If you look at the back, you'll see where the hoses are, and also detachable tone arm cable. So this is the newest of the Bergmann table.
And what is this
Another
cost?
feature is that, you can unscrew these and we can make it a multi-arm table.
Right.
So we can put in a unipivot if we want alongside our air bearing, or have another tone arm here. And these are available separately. Just let us know what tone arms you're going to put in and we'll get you the board for it.
Right. And what does this cost?
The price with the arm is $34,000.
Okay. And is there a way to adjust azimuth on this?
That part of it I'll get Jody to go through because he's the one doing most of the arm setups.
Okay. Is he here?
Yep, I'll get him over.
Okay.
Just one tone arm. There's quite a few changes over the previous tone arm.
Okay.
If you remember in the past, this arm tube was left hanging in space. There was no support on this side. So he's tied this entire support all in so that it's a much more rigid design.
Okay.
VTA is now done by these 2 points. There's locking screws in the back, and you just raise them.
So if you have to raise both of them, is there a way to make sure you're level? Is there a level on every?
Well, the idea of that is to get this arm so it floats back and forth without any. It'll actually float back and forth between the air holes, right?
Okay.
So that's part the VTA and the leveling of the arm tube are one and the same.
I see. And what about, can you adjust azimuth with this arm tube?
Depending on the cartridge or shimming and stuff like that.
Oh, but
yeah,
you
there is no adjustment.
Okay.
No, Johnny likes to have that solid.
Rigidity, yeah. Well, that's the trade-off.
Yep. So he says, if you want to do that, you get cartridges that can do it. You can shim it.
We're just down
Okay.
for a couple minutes here.
Yeah. He's using. You can see the head shell drops, so that it's in line with the bearing more so. They were up higher before, which is another improvement for
And
the
what is
arm.
the platter material?
It's aluminum. This entire table now is aluminum, and it's all built in-house. Johnny's doing everything himself. You can put up to the you can put arms on it.
Okay, it's very beautiful there, very elegant.
And this is now the motor assembly is an entirely separate piece, so this just lifts off.
Right. Okay, so let's play the record I brought.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is the turntable, which you gave us the price. The cartridge, the Phase-Mation, is about $6,000?
Yes, yeah.
For the cartridge. I was right on the money. I didn't have that on camera. Too bad, but that happens. Okay, this is like a 1-watt Class A avant-garde amplifier because the speakers have a powered subwoofer, and they're so efficient that they actually put energy back in the grid. They make money. You play the speaker, you make money because the electricity, the company pays you, and that's the pump. And what do the speakers cost?
The speakers are $15,000 retail.
15,000.
Yeah.
And that's not with the amp, though.
Not with the amp. With the amps that are built in, though.
Yeah, and so with that,
That's 17.
Yeah, approximately.
17K integrated. Okay.
But you could use any, even a single-ended little integrated tube amp.
Yeah, sure.